question to ask yourself is, what does it mean to me to live and lead a generous life? Not, should Bill Gates do more? Does that donor that we have, why aren't they giving more? I know they could afford it. I've heard those things said, I've said them myself. Our job is to not worry about what somebody else should be doing and if it's their capacity, but to ask myself, am I doing my capacity? My capacity won't ever be in this universe because I can't hold on to money. The minute I make it, it's just gone. I literally can't. I've tried. I've set up accounts, like 401ks and such. Nope, cash them out, gone. I just can't hold, I just don't believe in holding on to money. So I'll never have that money. But I also can't do less than I'm capable because of any hang-ups that I might have about what I think about everybody else and their money, or any anxieties I have about my future security. And so when I read a quote years ago when Teddy Roosevelt said, do what you can with what you have where you are. Do what you can with what you have where you are. That is all that is asked of us to create the world that we know is possible. And by doing that, there's this sense of, for me, a deep fulfillment and significance that kind of wells up. And because of that, I become even more generous than I ever thought I was capable of becoming. And I can now give more time, give more advice and not ask to be paid for it, give more money when I do get paid, and have this real calm sense that everything's going to actually be okay here. And I don't have to worry about what everybody else is doing. I have to be really clear about what I'm doing. And so the book is about you taking the time for you in your life to figure out what does it mean to me to be fully generous, and how do I define it, not how do other people define it. And I've worked with such a range of people. I've worked with people who give $5 a month and people who give away $50 million a year, and everything in between. And the commonalities that are really there for everyone on that spectrum is a deep sense that they matter, that they will make a difference, that their contributions count, that they really, really believe in what they're doing. And particularly for people who have deeper resources, they tend to have the stress of feeling like they have to write checks to everybody and to keep everybody happy. And none of us should actually really do that. We shouldn't be writing checks to keep other people happy, but write checks that really support what your hard work is. And I know when I've been asked to write things that aren't my hard work and I have to say no, even if it's a friend and I really care about them, it's difficult. But something about having a plan, that I have a generosity plan and I'm able to say, Rita, thank you for asking me to support this cancer research work, and it's critically important. But what I want to tell you is that I have a mission statement for my time and my money, and because of that I've chosen a handful of groups where I really want to make a difference with them, and I really need to stick it out with them and stay the course. And if I take any money out of that, I might dilute my impact here. But best of luck with that, and I'm glad you're doing it. I can't, but I'm glad you are. And there's something that happens when you stop spreading yourself so thin and trying to be everything for everybody and trying to do everything and saying yes all the time. You start to actually see how you're making a difference and the impact you're making in a brand new way. And having grown up without money, what I realized is that women have the best ideas in the world, but without the resources to move them, they're not going to move. They're just going to be really great ideas, right? So I just knew that my work would have to be around wealth redistribution. Just make that money move it. Just move it, move it, move it. Unburden the people who have too much of it. Let me take some of the stress away from you. And move it to the places where it's needed. But in that, realizing it is not just the responsibility of people who have a lot of money to step up, that it's mine as well. And while I could cry poor compared to a lot of my clients and people that I know, it's a ridiculous statement for most of us to cry poor compared to what happens to people globally. And it is that anxiety that we have about people with money, that stress we have, it has nothing to do with us.